What up, everyone? DJ Nubis with you in the Military Radio podcast, doing another movie review. I actually got to catch a couple of movies last night. I'm going to do reviews for both, but the first one up is A Pale Blue Eye on Netflix for 2022. Directed by Scott Cooper. The cast consists of Christian Bale, Harry Melling, Gillian Anderson, Robert Duvall, Toby Jones, Harry Lauder, Lucy Boynton, and Timothy Spall as the main headliners here. Plot is a world-weary detective is hired to investigate the murder of a West Point cadet. Stymied by the cadets' code of silence, he enlists one of their own to help unravel the case, a young man the world would come to know as Edgar Allan Poe. So this movie, I'll tell you right off the bat, it's kind of a slow burn, okay? It's a little bit of a slow burn, but stick with it. Stick with it. Early on in the film, Bale plays a character of Augustus Landor, who, as we described, as a detective. He had recently, within the last couple of years, his daughter had run off, and he hadn't seen her since, and he doesn't really know where she is. So he's sort of beaten down. He's a widower. He doesn't have anyone else. He had the daughter, and she's gone. So basically, he just drinks a lot and, just chills. But he's approached by the academy superintendents who are asking him to investigate the apparent suicide of one of their cadets. The issue with what happens is he goes out there, looks at the body, and realizes that something doesn't add up. And then later on, the body is desecrated where the heart is taken. So that further leads to the fact that it's not a suicide. Something else is amiss. And very quickly in the film, he goes to a local tavern there by the academy, and the woman that works there in the bars tells him that there's a gentleman, another cadet, who believes that his theory that there's a killer, and there's some other information that she relays to him that the cadet said that makes Landor very interested in what this cadet to say. This happens to be a young Edgar Allan Poe as a cadet. And so together they start working the case, even though Landor is pretty much the basis of it, because Poe's still a cadet. He's still got rules he's got to follow, but he's kind of secretly helping Landor figure this stuff out. And as they're doing this, they come across where more killings happen with a similar theme that looks similar to the first one. So then we're thinking, well, serial killer, right? Now the thing with Poe in this is that his behavior is kind of odd. So, obviously he's got a lot of poetry. He likes to speak in poetic terms when he talks to people. But he also tells people that, he is visited by his late mother. So he apparently kind of sees ghostly visions from her that help enlighten him to things in his life. So he says. Through the investigation, Landor comes across a specific family within the academy, and involved there is the Marquis. And that is led by Dr. Daniel Marquis, who, if you remember, Toby Jones plays this character. He played Dr. Arnim Zola in the Marvel series, the German young scientist guy. So he's the head of the family. Then you have Gillian Anderson playing Julia Marquis, the wife. Harry Lottie as Cadet Artemis Marquis. And then we have Lucy Boynton as Leah Marquis, the daughter. So this family becomes like a focal point of not only the school and academy and, their reputation, especially with the doctor doing the autopsy for the whatever deaths occur there. But now they become embroiled in the investigation itself, because after early on, Landor finds out that the doctor missed certain evidence on the first body. So the guy was gripping a a hand note or something, and then didn't even notice like the blow to the back of the head. So he's kind of like, I'm sure you would have seen this if you had done a little more research, kind of saying the doctor kind of looked like a fool, but, admitted that he made a mistake. But the family starts becoming like a questioned about their involvement with some of this stuff that's going on with the killings. During this time, Cadet Poe actually starts to develop feelings for the daughter, Leah, who is a great pianist. She's very proper. She has some other suitors. One is this general cadet named Ballinger, who ends up actually attacking Poe one night because he knows that Poe has somehow got a connection with Leah. Like they have been hanging out and walking together and talking. And Poe really likes her. He has romantic feelings for her. So Ballinger is another suitor, basically is attacking him violently out of anger and whatnot. But when Ballinger is killed during the night and found the next day in a similar fashion with the heart missing and hung, immediately Cadet Poe has actually become a suspect now because he had that altercation, and then they find out he had an altercation with the first victim. Landor, of course, hasn't totally given up on Poe, so he's like, just be honest with me from now on. Don't lie to me about stuff. This almost has like a Few Good Men vibes about it in some ways. Let me see my notes here. So eventually, Landor and Poe find out exactly who is responsible for the missing hearts and the attacks in that manner, and get to the bottom of what's going on. But this is the interesting thing about this film, and I told you it kind of starts slow and it's kind of building and building, and it got to be about like this movie runs about a little over 2 hours. But when I got to like 1 hour 40 minutes, I saw there was still like 20 minutes left when they had found the answer to what they were looking for, and I'm thinking, what possibly could be going on for another 20 minutes? There's a twist. Big twist. Clever twist. And I'm not going to give it to you because I want you to see this. The twist is really good. It's actually, if it had ended where I thought it might end, I probably would rate this much lower. But the way that it unravels in the last 20 minutes really kicks the movie up for me in terms of like watchability and whatnot. Like I like what they did. I didn't see it coming at all. Certainly not seeing that coming. But for those that might have started watching it and then like stopped because you just either you thought you figured it out like most people, or just found yourself running too slow with it. But if you stick with it, it pays off in the last 20 minutes. And I'm not going to give much more than that because, like I said, I want people to check it out. Now, with all that said, with this film, it's still probably about an 8 out of 10 for me. It's good. It's just not great. But like I said, without that ending, it probably would have been like a 7 or 6. Don't know if I'm going to buy this on DVD. I might. I am a big Christian Bale fan, but he does a great job in it. It's like he always does. Like I know some people don't really like Neko bust my balls about being a fanboy of his, but really when he takes a role, he does a pretty good job with it. And I thought he did a good job with this. I will say this, okay? If you hadn't seen like Christian Bale in like The Prestige, for instance, like that's a great role. Of course, he was great as Batman. He's had other great roles like Equilibrium. I think it's the mechanic, or not mechanic, but machinist. I forget what it was, but it's the early 2000s film. But he, whatever role he has, he really dives into it, and I like that about him. So again, because of the twist ending at the end there in the last 20 minutes, it's worth watching this because it is entertaining. It's not bad. So 8 out of 10 for me with this. It's called A Pale Blue Eye, and it's on Netflix. So if you have that, it's on there. Go check it out. And yeah, I appreciate everyone checking out this review, and I'll see you later. I'll have another one up soon.